What's up, Bulldogs? All right, I just wanted to give you kind of an update. It's been a while since I made a video. I know a lot of you guys are like, "Oh, he's making videos again. That's great. The old Bulldog mindset is back." And now it's been kind of dead. Well, I mean, first of all, there's no reliability to the videos right now. And the reason why is because I really want the videos to always come from the heart. And I am running my new business and working on that. And so I really want to make sure that there's no motive in making these videos right now besides just sharing, just again using it as a therapy session for me, and providing the value when I feel inspired to do it, as opposed to, okay, I need to make videos every day. And I know, yes, in the golden era of Bulldog mindset, making videos every day, twice a day, there was a lot of really cool stuff going on there, but it fit the lifestyle that I was living at the time, and it made sense. And maybe that era might return at some point. It's just not right now. But I wanted to make this video because I actually started making a video yesterday at the end of my run. But this is kind of an update of where I'm at and some transparency here, right? And so the video I started making yesterday, I was in a pretty depressed state, honestly, and I've been that way for the last couple of weeks. Kind of every Monday, I've been really depressed. Like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I feel like giving up, And I know I've talked about this in some of the videos, and I've talked about how to overcome these things. And I was trying to really mentally frame myself into this, and I just realized that this is just going to be a battle that I'm going to fight. And sometimes I feel bad. I felt embarrassed kind of to make the video and to talk about this because I'm John from Bulldog Mindset. I just talked about, getting out of these funks and pushing through these things. And then I'm still back in it, right? Why can't I just adopt my own mindset? And today is better. Today is a much better day. It just so happens. It's so funny, usually by the middle or the end of the week, I'm feeling great, on fire. And then Monday, I just am overwhelmed and feeling like I don't want to do this anymore. And I don't know exactly why, but here's some things that changed in my life, and this is what I was thinking, right? So about a week and a half ago or so, I hurt my back when I was lifting. I've been training with my coach and doing some intense training. You guys have been seeing that. I've been talking about these workouts, and and basically what ended up happening was I still went to the gym on that Monday, and it was kind of brutal. It was upper body. And then on Tuesday, I couldn't run in the morning because my back, I could hardly get out of bed. But I ran Tuesday evening on the treadmill. It was about a 3.5 mile run. It's supposed to be, pretty much an easy run. And it was fairly slow paces, but I was just dripping sweat at the end of that run. Like, I forced myself to go and do that run. Really didn't want to, and especially on a treadmill. And I was just dripping sweat. And I was like, okay, there's something really wrong here. This is off. I've been training for 10 weeks hard. And yeah, I've had the knee surgery and everything, but it just, like, this doesn't feel right. I can't continue pushing this hard, every workout being a 9 out of 10, and not have something give. And I felt like, okay, maybe this is what's causing my depression. Maybe this is why I'm feeling unmotivated, because I'm just tired all day. I'm just completely burnt out, physically exhausted. And so I made the hard decision, and I talked to my wife about it, and she was like, yeah, it does seem like that's the case. And so I said, well, maybe that's what's causing me to really lack this motivation, and to just to want to give up on the business stuff, is that and even though it's going well, it's successful, is that I'm just overworking myself. I'm just like, these workouts can't be 9 out of 10 every day, and it's taking like an hour and a half, 2 hours a day out of my day. I'm just tired all day. And so I made the hard decision to talk to my coach, and to basically pause the coaching for a while, and just, I'm still going to work out, I'm still going to run, but what I told him was that basically, I think it is draining me. I think it's really having a negative impact on my life at this point, pushing that hard, and it's making me depressed. It's making me feel like I don't want to do anything, and I don't want everything to break. And so, and also, I think it had to do with my knee. I think that the reason why I'm not advancing is because it still takes a lot more energy for me to run, for me to work out, with having only had the knee surgery about 6.5 months ago, even though I'm running up mountains and doing all this stuff. And so it was a really hard pill for me to swallow. I'm not the person to wave the white flag, but for my health and for my mental health, I realized that I did need to kind of back off a little bit. And so that's what I did. And so that's what I'm doing now. And I actually ended up taking a week off from any kind of workouts to try and heal my back. it still is bothering me a bit, but I ran a couple miles yesterday and I'm going to get back into it. I'm actually doing a 72-hour fast right now. I'm in the middle of that. A couple of my friends are doing that. But yeah, I just wanted to be honest and upfront with you guys and admit that I've been struggling in terms of the depression and the motivation. And there's been times where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I even want to build this business and scale this business. And and what I'm talking about is Rockstar Developer University. I've done about $300,000 in sales, and I started in July, so that's pretty good. I've sold everything myself, so I'm proud of that. But it still gets me down from time to time because it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. I've been working 12, 13-hour days. That's the other thing is that I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock. And if I go and do my workout, and then I'll be working until 6 to 7 every night, not really taking a break. And that kind of wears on you, especially when you're taking a bunch of sales calls and working out really hard. And so I think that I was suffering from a little bit of just overtraining, I hate to use the word burnout, but in some ways a burnout. And so what I've actually decided to do, and I talked about this in my last video about getting to 500,000, is I'm hiring a sales team. I'm basically going to scale up, and I've already got a company that I'm looking at working with that's going to come in and help me with my sales team. I already brought on a sales guy, one guy, the guy that's part-time. He's going to be starting actually today, taking his first call. And I realized that this is kind of the road that I have to go with this. And I just thinking about these things, and it's hard, right? It's hard. I was talking about this in Rockstar Developer University in the coaching calls last night. I was being transparent about that as well. Is that it's always going to be somewhat of a struggle, right, in life, like especially as an entrepreneur. There's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be a lot of stress, and sometimes you're going to feel like you're on top of the world, and sometimes you're going to be down in a pit of despair, and you got to kind of figure out, what do you need to change, what do you need to fix, what do you need to just keep on pushing through. And sometimes it's not immediately obvious, but I'm trying to turn things around here, and my mindset has really flipped in just the last day as I've been really working through the problems and working through the issues that I've been facing. I mean, one of the things that really, just to give you an example of how you can get your legs kicked out from underneath you, I've been doing good as far as the sales for this month on closing and kicking ass in the sales, but I had a guy that I had closed. I hate to use the word close, but had sold the Rockstar Developer University program too, and he made his payment, and then and I was excited about that because I have this goal. I want to do, if I do 7 closes this month, or any month, then I can buy a hot tub. I really want a hot tub because it'd be nice to be able to relax after the workout. It's not super expensive, so it's like $4,000 or $5,000, but that's kind of a reward, right? So to motivate me to do this, and I closed that deal, and then later that evening he had messaged me and said that he wanted to just do it on his own. Right. And so basically he was like asking for a refund on that. And it just really, like when I read that email, or that message, it completely just took the wind out of my sails. I just felt devastated, and I know I shouldn't, you know what I mean? It's like, but I've been working so hard, and I worked so hard on that particular sale and helping him, and had turned that sale around from the first call to really showing him how he can really benefit by building his personal brand, and how I could help him do that. And so it just, I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to not take that personally, right? And just to feel discouraged because I'm trying to get to this count. I need to, up the amount of closes I'm getting, and really to scale this business, and the pressure was all on me. And so it just really, it really hit me hard. But what I did was I basically contacted him the next day and talked to him about how can we fix this? How can we get you to the place that you want to get? And we've resolved it. We've figured out a way where he's going to be able to still be in the program, and he's not going to default on the payments and things like that. And I did have a person that defaulted on payments this last week or so. And I know that's going to happen in business, but it takes a toll on you when you're the only person in the business and you're working on every single thing, and you're trying the best you can to give the best results to people as possible. So Yeah. So I've been kind of in that place. I think the fasting will be good for me. And I really think that it's time. I want to become the best salesperson as I can because I want to develop that skill, and I can still work on that skill. But I'm realizing that I can't do this alone. That I need some people on my team. That I need to have a break where I'm not the only person on sales calls all day long, right? So that if I need some space, I can take that space. Uh, and I think that's important, right? And so I'm realizing that if I want to get to these goals of really, growing this business, um, I can't be focused on the sales. Like it was good that I did. I've closed like what 25 sales in this program, something like that, maybe more, which is great for someone who has no sales experience. But it's time to like grow the team and time to really take things to the next level. And it's been a struggle. It's been hard, right? There's been a lot of things that will discourage you, from ads not working right, and some of the teams that have been running the ads not delivering, and all kinds of complications that come up in trying to grow and build a business like this. But overall, it's going good. Like if I'm honest about it, it really is, right? In fact, it's going phenomenal. Most people would say it's phenomenal, but it doesn't matter, right? And that's the thing to understand, I think, about life is that it doesn't matter what other people think about what you're doing, right? It matters what you think. And you can be kicking ass to everyone else and feel like a failure to yourself. And I felt like that. I have felt like that. And sometimes I forget too that I need to call up my friends and talk to them, right? I'm always there for my friends, helping them with their crises and problems. But sometimes, when we're in kind of a dark place, we tend to isolate. And I didn't think that I did that, but I did. I do that, right? And that's unfortunate. And it's kind of, I guess, appropriate timing with this video because it is like mental health awareness for men this month, this November, and a lot of men struggle, right, with depression. And it's and again, I don't believe in the like clinical depression type of thing. I think that that we're going to be depressed from time to time. We have to learn how to deal with that struggle. And sometimes it means that we just need some changes in our lives, right? And I think that is true, a different perspective. And so that's what I've been trying to do is kind of alter things, make changes where necessary. And like I said, the big change for me was I'm not going to run that 50-mile race next year. I'm just not going to be ready for it. Like I could do it. And my coach was even like, dude, I get what you're saying because like you're a guy who I know can do the workouts, like is not wimping out on this, but it's just not good for you right now. And, otherwise we'd be having a different conversation, right? And it doesn't even make sense for me to dial back your workouts because you can handle that stuff on your own. When you're ready, let's go and let's hit it hard. And I appreciate that. And that's true. And I've been trying to change my viewpoint in life, right? From being so achievement based and I talked about the six basic human needs that Tony Robbins talks about, right? The need for basically what is it? Not achievement, but significance and the need for growth, and switching my basic needs to love and connection, and then contribution. And that's really what I have to focus on, right? Because when I'm in that mindset of significance and growth all the time, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I do tend to beat myself up from time to time because I want to be the best, and I don't want to let people down, and I want to hold up this image of myself that I have been in the past and live up to that. And I want to tackle everything, and I don't want to ever say there's a workout too tough for me or that I can't handle this, and to some degree that's, I would say, I don't want to say it's arrogance, but it's some degree of the unhealthy part of pride, right? It's great to have standards and it's great to have pride. I really think that that's true, but there can be an unhealthy part of it where it's too extreme, where your basis of your value in life is based on what you're achieving, and instead of it being what you're contributing, right? And so I'm trying to make that shift, right? And yeah, so it's tough. I don't know. This is a little bit disjointed for a video. Part of me is like, I should just delete this and not publish this, but I'm gonna publish this because I do think that this might be helpful to some of you guys, and it's valuable, and and again, like I said, there's nothing here besides you being my psychologist, my therapist, being the camera that I talk to and work through these issues. And it's kind of interesting. Like I was thinking about just someone was talking to me about, what was it? Maybe it was on a sales call, and they're saying, yeah, it's just like seeing you grow and seeing you work through your problems and struggles in the videos. It changed my life, right? Like, and I realized that that's kind of what I used to do. I mean, some of it was different on YouTube, but back when I was really growing, I was using YouTube as a rubber duck to bounce these concepts off of, and to really share what I was working on and what I needed help with, and my thoughts as I was pushing through these things. And so with that in mind, there's really no embarrassment in what you've been seeing, right? You've been seeing me push through. You've been seeing me struggle. You've been seeing me talk about being depressed and trying to get over it, and pushing through and giving strategies. And there was a part of me that didn't want to make another video because I was like, okay, well, I've kind of failed, right? Because if I'm making another video and saying I'm depressed yet again, then what about all the other videos I made where I'm telling you how to get over this and how to get through this and how to change your mindset and how to say this is just one day and tomorrow's a new day, and you just have to work on what you need to do in this day, and it will change. But I don't think it validates that at all. I think this is part of the thing that I'm trying to figure out and struggle through, and get better at it. And I think the way to get better at it is by being open, by being transparent, by not hiding this struggle, but sharing it with you. And I'll tell you along the way, as I'm going through the things that I'm going through, and sharing them. And part of me is also like, oh, well, as a coach, will people think that I'm weak? Will they think that I can't coach them? And if I really think about that, I think it's actually the opposite. I think that by being real, by being human, by showing you that I have struggles, yet I am able to accomplish and achieve these things despite them, maybe that helps you to understand that you can do it, and that I've been there. And so that's why I can coach you, is because I can help you, right? Even when I'm struggling with the same thing that you're struggling with, right? I'm working through it myself, and because I've done that and I continue to do that, I've got some value that I can give you. So anyway, that's about it, I think, for this video. I appreciate you guys. I mean, some of you guys are super supporters of me, have really helped me with your encouragement, and good things are coming, right? I feel like a renewed energy today, and I feel like I really do want to grow this business and really help developers, and I feel a lot more hopeful today. Sometimes I can't really put a finger on why that is. Maybe there's some chemical imbalances or whatever in the neurochemistry of the brain that affect this. But yeah, I'm feeling that hope. I sometimes I feel like it's just like this bipolar thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I think that's just how it's going to be. I think that there's going to be the down days, and what I have to really focus on practicing is not freaking out on the down days and feeling like it's going to last forever. Because even though I say this and I make these videos, I still feel like that when I'm in it. Earlier this week on Monday or Tuesday, when I was talking to my wife about it, I was just still like, I don't know if I want to do it. And it's like, I should know better. I should know better. I should know that that this is not going to last, and that I'm going to have a day where I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm on top of the world. But in that psychology at that time, you think of those days as delusional. You know what I mean? And you think that the sadness, the despair is the actual reality because it feels so real, right? And maybe this is your experience as well. But all right, I need to get to work, get some stuff done. But I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and we'll see you next time.